Hi, I'm Kate with The Productive Teacher, and today we're going to practice spelling words with the J sound, spelled DGE. We use DGE to spell the J sound after a short vowel. In this video, I will show you a picture and tell you a word. You will count the sounds in the word. Then we will go through how to spell each sound together until we have spelled the entire word. Let's get started. This picture shows a judge. The word is judge. How many sounds do you hear in the word judge? There are 3 sounds in the word judge. What's the first sound you hear in the word judge? J. What letter do we use to spell the J sound at the beginning of a word? It can be a G or a J. This time I know it's a J because of the sound that comes next. What's the next sound you hear in the word judge? J, is a short U. This short U tells me that the J sound is being spelled by the letter J. What's the last sound you hear in the word judge? It's the J sound again, and after a short vowel, we use the letters DGE to make the J sound. Great job. Let's go to our next picture. Here we have a lodge. A lodge. It's a place to go inside when you are taking a break from skiing. Lodge. How many sounds do you hear in the word lodge? There are 3 sounds in the word lodge. What's the first sound you hear in the word lodge? L. What letter makes the L sound? L. What's the next sound you hear in the word lodge? L. Ah. Ah is the short O sound. We make that with the letter O. And what's the last sound you hear in the word lodge? J. Remember, after a short sound, we use DGE to make the J sound. Awesome job. Our next picture is of a refrigerator. Our word is fridge. Fridge. How many sounds do you hear in the word fridge? There are 4 sounds in the word fridge. What's the first sound you hear in fridge? F, f. What letter makes the F sound? The letter F. What's the next sound you hear in the word fridge? What letter makes the sound? R. What's the next sound you hear in fridge? It's the short I sound we spell with the letter I. And what's the last sound you hear in the word fridge? J. After a short I, we spell DGE. Great job. Here's our next word. This is a hedge. Hedge. Bushes that are shaped and at the edge of a lawn, we often call a hedge. How many sounds do you hear in the word hedge? There are 3 sounds in hedge. What's the first sound you hear in hedge? What letter makes the sound? The letter H. What's the next sound you hear in hedge? Short E, we spell it with the letter E. What's the last sound you hear in hedge? J. After a short sound, we spell DGE. Our next picture, this is a lime, but it's a wedge of lime. And so our word is wedge. How many sounds do you hear in the word wedge? There are 3 sounds in the word wedge. What's the first sound you hear in the word wedge? What letter makes the W sound? W. What's the next sound you hear in wedge? Short E spelled with the letter E. And the last sound, wedge. J. The J sound is spelled DGE after a short vowel. Our next picture is fudge. Fudge. How many sounds do you hear in the word fudge? There are 3 sounds in the word fudge. What's the first sound you hear in the word fudge? What letter makes the F sound? F. What's the next sound you hear in the word fudge? Short U spelled with the letter U. And the last sound in the word fudge, J. After a short vowel, we spell it DGE. Our next picture is a bridge. Bridge. How many sounds do you hear in the word bridge? There are 4 sounds in the word bridge. What's the first sound you hear in bridge? B, b. What letter makes the B sound? The letter B. What's the next letter you hear in bridge? B, What letter makes the sound? R. What's the next sound you hear in the word bridge? Br, I. I is the short I sound. We spell it with the letter I. What's the last sound you hear in bridge? J. Remember, the J sound after a short vowel is DGE. Our next picture has a guy playing basketball and he is dodging out of the way of the ball. The word is dodge. Dodge. How many sounds do you hear in the word dodge? There are 3 sounds in the word dodge. What's the first sound you hear? D, d. We use the letter D to spell the D sound. What's the second sound you hear? D, ah. Short O sound we spell with the letter O. What's the last sound you hear in dodge? J. After a short vowel we spell J, D-G-E. Our last picture today has 2 elephants, and it looks like the mommy elephant is nudging the baby elephant. The word is nudge. Nudge. How many sounds do you hear in the word nudge? There are 3 sounds in the word nudge. What's the first sound you hear? N, spelled with the letter N. What's the second sound you hear? N, is a short U, spelled with the letter U. And what's the last sound you hear in the word nudge? J. DGE spells the J sound. Awesome job. We are all done spelling for today. For more spelling, reading, and writing resources, go to www.theproductiveteacher.com. Thank you.